Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Heart of Magdalene. This is our weekly service coming to you live on YouTube. I am so excited to be here with you today and to be speaking yet again about this feminine wisdom, this feminine face of God in the merging of all aspects of self into wholeness, into the holy dwelling place within, into our own holy temple that resides within us, a coming home, if you will, a reclamation. So, good morning, and I'm really glad to be here with you today. We are just such a beautiful opportunity, beautiful day to be able to speak about these pearls of wisdom that have been passed down to us since the beginning of time. These pearls of wisdom that have enabled us to find a way home into ourselves and connect with spirit, source, God, divinity within us. And I'm excited to be able to do this with you here today. So, we're going to take a moment. We're going to enter into our holy dwelling place, which is in your heart center. And I'm going to ask that you take a moment and get settled. And as we begin to get settled, we're going to go into an invocation, a proclamation, a way of connecting you into your heart space, into source, into the light, and taking you home because the holy dwelling place is within you. So go ahead, just take a moment and get settled. And I welcome you again. This is the Heart of Magdalene. This is a spiritual heart center. We have weekly services and offerings through the School of Wisdom. And we are devoted to you. We are devoted to the condition of your heart. We are devoted to bringing light to the world, the luminosity of this source, the space in place where the divine dwells, the divine lives, which is within you, in activating that. So it's not even an activation, of remembering that you are not separate from any of this. We are interconnected. We are one. So go ahead and start getting comfortable and place your hand on your heart. Yes, go ahead and place your hand on your heart. This heart, this is the place of the divine. This is the holy dwelling place. This is the space and the place where you connect to the Most High. So allow yourself to go ahead and get comfortable, breathing the light into the center of your heart. This light, this is the light of the Most High. This is the light of all that is. It is a luminous beauty, a grace, a mercy bestowed within us. We are the holy dwelling place. We are the holy dwelling place of the divine in that center. Our heart is the center that it connects through. So allow yourself to release into the center of your heart and begin envisioning this beautiful light, this beautiful, radiant white light that's beyond human comprehension. See, the holy dwelling place, this light, it's a white that you can't even imagine. But allow yourself to begin to recognize it through feeling, smell, sight, taste, hearing, or simply knowing, or maybe not at all, but know that it always is. It's never in absence. So allow this light to begin to move through you. This is the holy, this is the Most High. And we open up with gratitude this morning. We open up with a deep gratitude for this holy dwelling place, this coming together, this gathering, this oneness, this space, this divine, the knowing of a love and a light so deep and so pure that it brings us to our knees. We recognize the mercy and grace that is bestowed upon us because of this light, because of this wisdom, because of this knowledge that's willing to come into our hearts and open our hearts and move us out of the way so that we may grow into the oneness. We may connect into that interconnected dominion, that domain where the Most High resides, which is always and forever omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. It works on our behalf even when we cannot recognize it. So in this moment of this oneness, we understand and realize the true presence of the Holy, of the Most High, of God. We let God into our hearts. We allow the movement and allow Spirit Source to do its work and move us out. Move us out of the way. We realize and recognize the beauty of this light, this pure, radiant luminosity that allows for an unconditional love beyond human comprehension. This love is so deep, so pure, that we know that all of our needs are met in this moment, in this interconnected moment, right here, right now. And we realize this love that the Holy has for us, this love that God has for us is so pure that we know our wholeness in this moment. We know our wholeness. And we are thankful for this moment. We are thankful for this guidance. We are thankful for this opportunity to be able to sit in this love, in this light, and to embrace it and allow it as a truth, as a spiritual truth within us. And we know that these words spoken here today, they are done, that all of our needs are met, that once we allow that light into our hearts, yes, we allow it, our words are done. And so the words are spoken into law, and so it is. Amen. Oh, Ashe. Shalom. Love, 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 divine love. You are loved, beloveds. Allow it in this morning. Allow it in. Allow this heart to come in. We recognize that this love is holy and pure and designed and made for you without condition. There is nothing you need to do. It is already for you. There is nothing you need to do. You are made perfect. You are loved. You are whole. You are complete. So in this moment today, as we opened up this space, we're going to go into a few moments of quiet. That was our invocation. That was inviting the Spirit into your heart, the Spirit of this beauty, of this oneness, of all that is. So I ask you to sit quietly. Sit quietly. And allow the corners of your mind, to begin to move. Move out of the way. See, in our day-to-day life, we have these spaces and places that begin to remove us, creates distance within us from the truth of the Spirit in the corners of our mind. And the silence, this time, this contemplative silence, where we're willing to allow the sediments and the noise to just distill, to drop, so we can begin to separate us from what is noise, what is distraction, what are other people's beliefs, to what is true within our heart. Just breathe and settle in. Become one with yourself. Become one with yourself. And become aware of what is in your heart, what is in your body. What are you feeling? What are you sensing? What are you thinking? Even what are your judgments about me and what I'm doing right now, or saying or not saying? So drop in. But you see, we want to make ourselves available to receive the words of wisdom. We want to make ourselves available in all spaces and places that we reside throughout the day, throughout this time, this life. We want to make ourselves available to hear beyond our hearing, to know beyond our knowing, to see beyond our seeing. We want to create a receptivity that allows not go after. It allows a movement in. We want to create a receptivity to hear, and then to be able to distill in the purity of ourselves that knowledge that we hear so it can become wisdom and we can apply it to our lives. So we can walk in flow. I call this alignment. So we can walk in flow, guided by our higher light, guided by our higher purpose, guided by God. So in this breath, in this stillness, allow the settlement of all the noise to begin to drop. Catching a breath, catching a breath. Allow the sentiment to drop. So we are going to begin our day today, our conversations with Sophia in Ecclesiasticus 24:9. Before the beginning of time, I was, and I shall remain forevermore. Ecclesiasticus 24:32-33. I will fulfill my prophecy of peace and bequeath it to all future generations. Once again, I make peace shine brighter than the dawn, and not one will see the light. Sophia, who was present at creation, she was present at creation, is wisdom. You can find her workings in almost every spiritual text throughout time. What we cannot find in these spiritual texts throughout time is the feminine voice speaking them. See, wisdom, it is a feminine context. It is allowed to move through man and woman, but it is a feminine context. And throughout history, throughout time, she is spoken of and she's ravaged. Why is she ravaged? Because her words are not given proper due from the feminine. We have denied this feminine. We have denied this wisdom. It tells us in our scripture, before the beginning of time, I was and shall remain forevermore, which means she was there, she is now, and she always will be. You can't have a child without a female. You can't birth creation and not have a female. It's just not possible. And yet history denies her voice. It denies her voice. As a matter of fact, systematically has begun to erase. And here we are in this rise of the feminine. This rise of the feminine, which means that we are coming into a place of harmony because the feminine essence is meeting the dominion of equality. I am no longer subservient. I am no longer hidden in the corners. I no longer have to speak in sub rosa. My voice is allowed to carry, and I am allowed to mark my words throughout history. I will fulfill my prophecy of peace and bequeath it to all future generations. This is the prophecy. See, it's in the feminine rising. We are the new dawn, aurora coming over the earth and awakening the dawn. The rise of the sun is feminine. The sun is masculine. The rise of the sun is feminine. She is the light. She is the luminosity. And in the merging of the masculine and feminine, in wholeness together is the holy union, is the emergence of illumination. So we must rise in the feminine and acknowledge her, male and female, to enable a new dawn, to enable a new way. See, so many prophesize this darkness that is coming, and we fail to speak about the prophecy of the new dawn, which is also coming, which is the light illumined. It is the light illumined. The feminine is the new dawn. Sophia, in her place throughout history, which is yet to be spoken fully and in totality and realized in union. And when we realize that union, we will have a new dawn. And we will have many that fight us and tell us that we have no rightful place, that this energy has no rightful place, and these words are heresy, and they have no rightful place for us. But I promise you, beloveds, it is coming. It is a prophecy. I have seen it. I have seen it as a woman of prophecy, as the gift of divination. I have seen the new dawn. I have seen the end, and I have seen the new dawn. Now, the men will scare you into submission. The men will attempt to scare you into submission. But I promise you, the new dawn is coming. And it is beautiful. How do I know this? Because that feminine essence flows through me. Sophia came into my body, that consciousness. And it woke me so deep that we must speak of this new dawn. And it must become a part of who we are. It must become a part of everything. And we must start writing our legacy with her wisdom throughout the skies. Because, see, she promises us peace brighter than the dawn. And actually, I got it wrong. And not one will not see the light. See, the light is so bright. I experienced that in my car accident. The light is so bright. It is so bright. And it is prophesized. It is real. It is written, and not just in this text. In a few moments, we're going to read the Bhagavad Gita. It is time for us to rise, women and men, and embrace the feminine aspects of our knowledge, of our wisdom, because without it, the new dawn cannot rise. But I promise you, it is coming, whether you like it or not. The question is, will you go fighting, which is the darkness, or will you embrace it and release and allow it, which is the new dawn? Those who do not fight will have an easy path forward. Those that choose to fight it will find a harder time. So I ask that you embrace this. I request you embrace this. I request you seek inside for the truth yourself, because our holy dwelling place is inside and truth resides within. That is my request of you, beloveds, because I love you. You are so loved. You are so loved. Unconditional love resides within you. It is the connecting point of all that is. It is the connecting point of everything that happens. Unconditional love is what is being channeled here today, and in our futures, and in our world, moving into that vibrational state of unconditional love, that harmonizing peace that moves through us, that embracing of the prophecy of peace through her wisdom, through Sophia wisdom. Now, it's important to recognize here, as it says in Ecclesiastes 24, 28, and 29, that no man has ever completely known Sophia. From the first man to modern man, no one has been able to explain or solve her mystery completely. For her thoughts are greater than the ocean, and her intent is greater than any abyss. That's because she lives in the infinite. She is the infinite. It's like trying to encapsulate God's word. You just can't. You can't encapsulate pure consciousness. You just can't. You can take snippets and distill them down into a few words, but it will lose all of its essence. And wisdom is personal. See, we each have our own role. We each have our own role to play. So it is through us, through our unique expression, that her wisdom is going to come down and distill within us what we are to share. What we are to share. The question is, are you going to move your ego so far out of the way that you're going to allow for new knowledge, new wisdom to come in that's in your holy dwelling place, in your heart center, that goes beyond man's constructed religiosity? Because see, that's the rigidity. That's the rigidity. We are so locked in. And I'm going to share an experience. As I keep going through my studies and my experiences and my own spiritual experiences, and also things I've seen and come to know both through prophecy, through my gift of intuition, and through my near-death experiences, having seen the other side, having seen the light, and it's not the other side, but experiencing the light, that pure consciousness, I end up around other people who have such constricted belief systems that they are dogmatically rooted and willing to actually go to war for them. These are the religious wars we've been fighting since the beginning of time. And it's a distillation of knowledge that was imparted way, 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 way back then. But we have systematically stricken out the essence, the wisdom, her wisdom that whispers through each word in these historical scriptural texts. That rigidity causes a rigidity and a fear within the heart. Now, what begins to happen, and this is my experience, when I'm talking to people who are so rigid that they are unwilling or unable to even hear a thought that might be a little bit different than their current belief system, they impose a dogmatic way. And there's an underlying fear that flows through and encapsulates into your being. So, in other words, when I'm sitting talking to somebody who is so scared about a next level of illumination or knowledge they might not understand, or it doesn't fit their purview or their belief system, their fear, their lack of belief becomes a hostility. And it begins to permeate in me if I stick around in it too long, because see, I know the light. I know the love. I know that when you're connected to source, everything is available. Everything is open. Everything. And this is where peace resides, right? See, these religious people will have you believing that war is necessary. And Sophia is telling me, no, you will know peace. In the new dawn, you will know peace. She is prophesied. Come to know her and you will know peace, because see, you're sitting up in the holy dwelling place, the temples. They are not man-made. They are constructed in your heart. We as humans have been gifted a human heart, which is connected to divinity. That is that interconnectedness, that oneness that they talk about. The Ernest Holm talks about the interconnectedness, that oneness. Now, wisdom in action in the Bhagavad Gita, my true being is unborn and changeless. I am the Lord who dwells in every creature. Through the power of my own Maya, I manifest myself in finite form. So divinity resides within us. See, this is another ancient historical text, and you can find her wisdom throughout time. The infinite distills down into me through wisdom and knowledge and awareness and awakening and acceptance of these truths and my willingness to come into alignment and allow it to become me. It distills down into us and it becomes finite. I am the finite reflection of the infinite, right? I am my own unique expression of the infinite. I am one with the infinite. I am the infinite. I'm a little molecule, a little cell of the infinite, which makes me in my finite self an infinite self as well. That's quantum physics. It's what quantum physics is explaining. Quantum physics is just explaining what many have always known. Allowing the expression of both the masculine and the feminine to come through allows me to merge into harmony of my whole self. See, everybody has masculine and feminine tendencies. It's a way of being. It's not about being male or female. And yet religiosity tries to squash us down into submission as women, tries to squash us down into submission. I mean, even the story of Lilith, right? She's become a demon and she's been considered a demon. But if you really look at the context of what it was that the story is, Adam wanted her to submit to him. And she said, no, God made me equal. And she was unwilling to stay. She was unwilling to stay. And if you look at history, we then took Eve, placed her into submission, made her the bad guy for all the world's sins, or the bad woman. She's the reason that we have all this suffering. And yet again, Adam was still unhappy, and men demonized Eve. And then we demonized Mary Magdalene, right? And we can find this throughout history. It's not just biblically. We can find this throughout history. And until we embrace the feminine face. See, if we're a reflection of the divine, if we're a reflection of the infinite, if I am a finite reflection of the infinite, I am one with this infinite, this source, this love, this higher power. If I am one with that, and in this current body, I'm a reflection. See, I'm whole, not less than. So I am equal in wholeness to my brethren. Now, I might not be equal in all things, but I am equal to my brothers who are in male bodies. And the same goes for the color of our skin. There's no difference. There's no difference. My soul is the soul of spirit. It's the soul of heaven. That is pure. That is whole. That is one. And this is what Lilith was saying. No, I am not going to pretend that I am not equal in God's eyes. And she left, and history has demonized her and made her evil and wrong. So my question to you is where have we believed these contexts that have nailed us down into submission? Because I was caught this week by the insecurity and low self-esteem that this person's limited beliefs affected within me. And it had me really begin to look at the enslavement of my mind based off of religious texts that put women into submission and make us feel bad, like we don't even know what we're saying. They said that about Mary Magdalene, right? She saw Jesus rise. And they still questioned her, like, why do you get to see him? Why do you get to do this? Why would he impart that knowledge to you? Why would he give it to a woman? See, this is where Jesus was evolved. He knew women were allowed to study. He knew women were equal. He believed what Lilith knew back then in the story, right? Sophia, it is said that Sophia was there at creation, and history has eradicated her. When people ask me, who is Sophia? She has been in historical texts since the beginning of time, and you can actually trace her back all the way through stories. See, we were a matriarchy once. We were a matriarchy, and wisdom prevailed. And she prophesied, it is prophesized that we will know peace, the new dawn. We will know peace when the feminine integrates into our psyches. When the feminine essence in her wisdom integrates. Because wisdom is humbling. It brings you to your knees. You know you must be a humble servant to carry her wisdom. You know you must be. So I invite you to begin to explore where, in what aspects, do you have limited belief systems that are holding you back within yourself? See, I recognized mine this week. For a mere moment, I allowed a man and his limited belief system to affect my inner knowing, my inner connection with God, my inner connection with Source, the inner truths that have actually been revealed to me that I have seen. I allowed his limited belief system to shame me into fear. He didn't do it. I allowed it. Nobody can do anything unless you allow it. And it began to put me in a shackle and constrict this unconditional love of Source. See, I have seen it. All roads lead to this light. What matters is that you seek it. What matters is that you seek it with all your heart. What matters is that you seek it with purity and love. Seek it, and she shall reveal to you this wisdom. He will reveal to you an unconditional love. It is actually neutral, will reveal to you your oneness in Creator's essence. Seek it and allow the shackles of your mind to begin to unravel themselves. And question everything. When they tell you not to question, they are asking you to follow blindly. That is not what any of the spiritual texts tell you to do. They tell you to study and seek inside your own heart, and I will reveal myself to you. Why is man so scared to send us home to our heart? That's what God wanted. That's what Jesus the Christ wanted. He wanted us to go home to his Father, to his heart. Mary knew this. Mary Magdalene knew this. The truth, the spiritual truth is found in our heart. Why is man so scared to allow us to seek so we can come to have an intimate expression with God? See, I was allowing this man in his limited interpretation to tell me who God is and is not for me. He has no idea the condition of my heart, and that is biblical. Only God knows the condition of my heart and my relationship, and I know my relationship with my God. And for a split second, I allowed him to sow a seed of doubt in my head that took me and moved me out of position. It moved me out of position for my connection. So I implore you, find your own relationship and build it so strong that no man's dogmatic way can knock you off the beam. Because see, when you are connected to Source, you are unwavering. Unwavering. And I'm so grateful for that experience because I got to understand the effects of dogmatic religion versus a deep and abiding connection and love for God. They are two different things. And when you know God, you know love. And you then begin to impart that love onto everybody you come into contact with. Because that's who you are. You are the finite of the infinite. You are the infinite. You are a part of this. So when you know love, you bring love. And you allow people, you teach them how to come back into your heart, which is the holy dwelling place. Question no man's belief. That is not your job. Question your own. And you seek until you get there because you will know the moment it happens. It will catch you like a fire. It will catch you and you will know that you have hit truth. You will know that you touch the kingdom and queendom of God. But those men, those people, that religiosity, it knocks you off beam and then they control you. They control you. They control your mind because you are not connected to your heart. You are not connected to God. They become your God, their belief system, because you're so busy trying to prove to them that you're good enough. Right? That shame. I couldn't even believe it caught me like that. I know that connection with Source loves you so much, loves you so much. So we ask for the wise one who claims my heart. And this is from Joyce Krupp. How can I name you to others? How can I ever capture the reflections of your radiance? Rising in profuse grandeur on a glittering sea of my soul. It's like trying to capture the essence of the harvest moon rising in full orange orbness, sparkling glory on a September day. That wisdom is so beautiful. Her wisdom. Seek to catch even a moment of it, a glimpse of it, and allow her in. Allow her in. Allow her in. And let no person stand between you and your connection with Source. Let no other person's judgment or inability to see what you see stand in the way. You know the condition of your heart. God knows the condition of your heart. Spirit knows the condition of your heart. Let that connection in and stand solid in that, because it is in the sweet repose that her wisdom reveals itself to you. And you must be solid and secure in yourself for her wisdom to be fully imparted. And then become ingrained in you so it becomes the very essence of who you are and what you choose to do with that wisdom. Because you must seek the purity before you can fully utilize that wisdom to bring that peace, to bring that new dawn, to be the benevolent presence on this earth, to reveal the truth of your benevolent presence. Let me reframe that. So today, go and seek to find a place within your own heart and listen for her whisper, so you will find her in the glittery, sparkly September seas. Right now it's February. Okay, beloveds, I love you today. And thank you for being here. And I wish you so much love.